Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be. Good to see you again this week. There was a lot of interest for this specific demo about BAMROC and Vavetek. So we're going to see what they can do with BIM, what they can do with MEP. Can they solve collisions? We're going to see everything. I'm not going to go into more details. But I am personally super excited for this one. We're going to see what can AI do for MEP engineers. There's a lot of things that it can do for architects, but for MEP, not so many. So probably BAMROC is one of them. Now, as always, if you're just joining and you don't know who I am and what we do as my company, yes, please, guys, I see that some people are already writing where they're from. Please write where you're from. I would love to see that. I would love to learn that. And thank you, AI Plan Lab, for writing this. You see, you got a feature on the live call. So again, my name is Stjepan. I go by Stefan, and I'm CEO and co-founder/founder of two companies, which I never thought I'm going to be saying, but here we are. So the first company is Neostack.AI. We are still in beta, but what we do is helping AEC professionals choose, manage, and adopt technology within their firms. You can see your usage of your apps, you can see licenses, you can see your tech stacks, and a lot more. So we're launching our beta on October 1st this year. We are working in full steam behind the scenes. So if you want to learn more, just join the waitlist, and you will be updated when the time comes. The second part is, of course, AI and AC, my original company, so to speak, where I make online courses and workshops for architects, engineers, and construction professionals, teaching them how to save 12 hours a week or implement AI, make an AI policy, a strategy. And just one thing I wanted to show here is, of course, the workshops. We're having two workshops on September 9th and one on September 10th. One is for AI for personal productivity, and one is for AEC firm transformation. There's limited seats, but there is a lot of people actually getting access to these workshops over the last few days. So I hope if you're one of those people interested, I hope you're going to join. So check it all out, ainac.com, and it's all going to be there. Now, this is from my end, and I'm going to shut up now and invite my guests. We have Nitin and Anuj and Vimal. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, we are doing great. How are you, Stjepan?
I'm good. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much for being flexible with the timing. I'm aware that for me, it's like 9 a.m., so 9 in the morning. And for you, it's like, what, 9:30 p.m., right?
9:30 p.m., that's right.
Amazing.
We are joining from Delhi, India.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. And probably the first question is like, who are you? And maybe you can give us a presentation of you as people and how did Vavetek.AI and BAMROC come together? Like, can you explain the difference as well?
Sure. So, Vimal, can you play the slide? I think that will be a good way to introduce ourselves. So, Stjepan, and hi, everyone. I am Nitin Gupta. I am the founder and CEO of Vavetek.AI. That's the name of our startup, the company. By profession and education, I am an architect. I have become a building technologist through experience, and purely through passion, I have become a cost optimizer. That is, over the years, which is more than 3 decades of actual architectural practice in Asia mostly, I have saved hundreds of millions of dollars for my clients through intense value engineering and cost optimization. I have designed more than 100 high-rise towers, some of them going up to 70 floors, mega hotels, commercial towers, and I have 2 technology patents along with my wife Professor Anjana Gupta, who is a mathematics and AI scientist. Now I am fully focused on advancing AI in the AEC world. So that is my focus now. And with me, I have this brilliant team of co-founders. So present on this call are Anuj, our Chief Operating Officer, and the product owner for the Structures AI Copilot.
Hello.
And we have Vimal Yadav, who's our senior software engineer. Vimal has been with us right from day one, and Vimal is the product owner of BAMROC, which we are going to be presenting today primarily and showing everyone a live demo of the software. So let me move on to so Stjepan, to you now. Really, this was our introduction.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I mean, listen, I think everybody's excited for the demo, and we're gonna come there in a second. But I want to hear from the guys. Like, guys, how long have you been at the company, and how is it like working at a startup? Anuj and Vimal, how is that for you?
Yeah, as I have got around 20 years of experience into enterprise software development, project planning, leading teams, and you know executing projects successfully. So, and yes, I mean, most of the part of my career I've worked with large enterprise organizations, but working in a startup is really very exciting. I mean, you you start everything yourself, correct? So there is nothing in place, but yes, you have to bring a lot of things in place, right? Along with keeping the technology at core.
Mm.
Yeah.
What about you, Vimal?
So it has been a very exciting journey from the day one, I would say. And building something from zero, something that does not exist, it's amazing. You build a prototype and making it to a product and seeing people love the product, using it. That's exciting, I would say.
Well, you guys definitely seem like you have a very healthy work culture going on. I mean, sitting and working together with your, I guess, boss, together. That's why maybe for the people watching, they're all in the same room. That's why Anuj and Vimala are muted, because it's one microphone but two cameras. But it's all good, man. Or we hear you guys. So it sounds healthy. But can you tell us a bit more about like BAMROC and Vavetek? Like, what's the difference? Is Vavetek the company, BAMROC is the product, or how does it work?
Yes, so you got it right. Vavetek.AI is the company, that is the startup. So we incorporated the startup in Singapore, though we are physically located in India. But realizing right from day one that our products, software products, would be for the global world, we thought Singapore would be a more global location. And that is the reason why we decided to set up in Singapore. Though we are, physically the company and the team is operating from India. That's where I live. That's where Vimal and Anuj live, and the entire technology team is there. And BAMROC is our first, software. This is not the only software that we intend to make. BAMROC is our first software. And see, the problem, Stjepan, I think has been there. The problem that we are trying to solve is at two levels, I would say. So as you can see on the screen, see what I started learning during my architectural practice, that somehow the whole industry today is in a situation where, we are wasting trillions of dollars uh, due to primarily the unoptimized and inaccurate engineering design that is done by the principal engineers and designers. This is unfortunate, but this is a fact of life. It is something that has been recorded by, industry champions like McKinsey's in their studies and reports. And the reason for this primarily is because everyone is depending upon the slow manual methods, that are present. And what is happening is that the blunt of this is being faced by the building developers and the turnkey contractors. So this is really their problem. If you see, they are the guys who are investing the money in the industry. And the unfortunate part is that everything happens at such a fast pace and in such an ad hoc manner in our industry. Every new project is like a new invention happening, literally. That is how building projects happen. So you do not have time primarily. Even if you have a lot of money, you do have a lot of money. That is why you end up wasting, right? So, but this is unfortunate. And in my own hypothesis, what you need is a good audit tool which can, audit the designs and then show to the team that, there is so much to save. And then the team really gets down to optimize. So this is the situation. This is the worldwide problem that we are trying to solve from Vavetek.AI. So Vavetek.AI as a company is trying to, this is the vision that we will try to solve this problem fundamentally. And if we shift to the solution now, so what is our solution? Our solution is that we have realized that if we can make AI co-pilots, which can help the building developers and the turnkey contractors, primarily to audit and optimize the design. See, whatever design is done by the principal engineers, if that can be audited and then optimized at a super fast speed, then the industry has a chance. Otherwise we are stuck in a vicious cycle, in a catch-22 situation, where we are going on in this, situation of unsystematic, ad hoc way with all the struggles of a building construction project. And we'll end up wasting, just by luck. If you somehow get a situation where you do an accurate and optimized design, you are lucky. Otherwise, you are stuck in this trap where you will have an unoptimized design. You will not have a tool, a fast tool to audit it, and then, a very fast tool to optimize it. So the whole global idea or the larger vision of Vavetek.AI is to create these AI co-pilots which can audit and optimize the design that is done by the building engineers. With time, we do understand that these audit tools will become like automation tools and they would be used by the entire industry. However, till the time that we reach that level, it is for the building developers and the turnkey contractors to really use these AI co-pilots to audit fundamentally. And then once they have audited, then do optimize the design. So this is our, you could say, the larger vision and the mission. However, the first software, so we can shift to now the main topic of the software that we will give the live demo for. So our first software, Stjepan, is called BAMROC. So BAMROC, we've not sort of given, it's an acronym for BIM Automatic Modular Resolver of Clashes. That is how the name came about. And, this is our first success story. This idea came to me, when I was in my office and we were struggling with this problem of MEP clashes. And I said, why can't we have an AI which can just remove these clashes? And that is where the problem came in. And I would say I'm lucky that my wife, Professor Anjana, happens to be a mathematics and AI scientist. I mentioned it to her. And she said, yes, it can be done. Let's try it out. And that is where the whole thing started. We started having these, morning walks where we were discussing only this. And then the whole company and the idea was born. So BAMROC, for all the engineers and architects involved in the building industry, they all know this problem. The problem is of MEP clashes. So, we know that a mechanical engineer or a plumbing engineer, these guys are all super specialists. They are all working in their own zones. Uh, Vimal, I can't see the sharing. I hope.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's on my end. Sorry,
yeah,
go
no
ahead.
problem. No worry. So, the mechanical engineer, the plumbing engineer, the structural engineer, electrical engineer, fire engineer, there are so many multi-specialists involved, who are all being coordinated by an architect or a coordinator. And these guys are all super specialists. It is impossible to get them into one room and to get them to design the whole thing at one time. So invariably, what you have is that these individual experts, they make their own models, their own designs, and then they are all integrated. So this is what we call as a coordinated model, or in today's parlance, it is called a digital twin. So they are all integrated into one model, and the moment you integrate them, you are bound to have clashes and conflicts. So, this problem of clashes and conflicts has been there since the ages where central air conditioning started, because it is the air conditioning ducts which are the heaviest volumes, and that is what creates the biggest clash problem. And just to share with you, I am coming from the days when we didn't even have AutoCAD. So I remember at the start of my career, I used to have these butter sheet papers, and used to buy hand in color pencil or different color, literally trace these different services and then sit down with the engineers to resolve. Those are the times where I'm coming from. Then obviously now we had Revit, we had Navis, and we had many softwares which are able to detect these clashes. So detection, automatic clash detection has been there for more than a decade now. However, BAMROC is a software that is able to automatically remove and resolve these detected clashes. So that is where we are really scoring. And today, to share with you, uh, the architects like me are so intimidated by this problem that we overprovide. That is what we do. So if it is compare it to a road which probably would require a two lane for the
Mhm.
amount of traffic, just to avoid traffic jams, we provide like a 6 lane highway. So that is what we are doing. That is how we are, I would say, unoptimized solutions that we are giving. So this BAMROC, the short-term solution that it gives us, it removes the clashes automatically. It rides over a model with clashes. We will show that live demo. But the larger solution that it will offer is that it will give architects like me confidence to optimize the building volumes. See,
Mhm.
that is the larger objective. So moving on to the solution is BAMROC. So on left side you see a model with clashes. You run BAMROC on it, as Vimal is going to do very soon, and you have a clash-free digital twin or a BIM model. So we are experiencing that it is 11 times faster than the current manual methods. And this is what will give the confidence to the principal architects to optimize the height of the buildings, optimize the volumes of the buildings. Otherwise, we are just over providing. In a operation theater, I remember where we can do with a 15 feet floor to floor height, we provide like 20 feet. That's a sheer wastage. And this is just done to avoid this problem. So with BAMROC, you can do pre-engineering, you can do automated methods to remove clashes, and you can see, how it will resolve the clashes very smoothly. So yeah, this is our description of the problem and the solution. Over to you, Stjepan.
I mean, this has been amazing. I have an easy job today. It seems. No, I mean, what I mean is honestly here. Like for a lot of people, I need to push words out of them. But you seem to have like a clear vision of what you want to do. As I've shown here, we have Nira commenting that it's very insightful everything you're saying, and I do agree with that. Like coming from the industry myself, I do agree with that. Architects typically overcompensate for or over provide, as you said. And there's always this issue in so many projects on like who is responsible for what. Why do we have all of these coefficients of like security when or extra when it's when there's no need. So yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you, Nitin, for explaining that. Yeah, let me show. We have a question from Tony. Let me show that immediately.
Okay.
So he's asking, hi Tony. Yeah, I know that you're going to be joining the workshops as well. So thank you for that. But how are the changes automatically implemented? There are many ways to solve a problem, i.e., change the structure or change the ducting. How is the design professional notified of the changes? Is this something you're going to cover in the demo? Or you want to answer it right now?
Yes. So Stjepan, Tony, I think this will get covered in the demo.
Okay,
And
sure.
I think we can. So once the demo is over, we can take the question again.
Awesome. Let's do that. Yeah.
So yeah, I think Vimal, now you go ahead with the demo.
Yeah. Great.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply open my Revit. And here you can see I have a structure file here. And in that structure file, I have linked my architecture and MEP. Now, just to save some time, we are using a MEP file, which has all of its services in one. But we are very much, we can do it with separate MEP files as well. That's perfectly all right. Now, the first step that we do is we detect these clashes that are present in the model. So for that, I have already exported the model to a Navisworks format. And what I'll do is I'll simply open this file. So this is my MEP. And let's just simply check how many clashes do we actually have. So just for the sake of simplicity, I'm running a simple MEP versus MEP clash test. So, but you can have multiple discipline-wise clash tests. So mechanical versus electrical, electrical versus plumbing. That's perfectly all right. And I can see a lot of clashes, these red and green systems that we are seeing. Now the next step is to make a clash report out of these clashes. And what I'm going to do is in this Vavetek.AI panel, you see this BAMROC clash file. This will create the report for me. So this is a simple CSV report. You can open this in your Excel also. Let me also. So I simply replace the existing clash report, and now my clash report is generated. And there are about 548 clashes. Now we can come back to Revit and yes. So I'll check this section box option. Now, using this section box, an engineer can resolve clashes for a portion of the building. So you can use BAMROC to resolve clashes for your single floor, for your whole tower, or maybe just in the corridor. That's also possible. Right. Now, if we move to this BAMROC by Vavetek.AI, I have already logged in. You can now I'll simply run BAMROC. So there are a few more things, but I think we'll cover these in the FAQs. For now, I'll simply run this. And then we get some guidelines and warnings. And I'll try to quickly go through these. So one thing is that the first point, I need to include my interior architecture and structure file, so that BAMROC has the context of where my fall ceiling is, where my floor slab is, where my columns are, so that it does not create new clashes with your columns or walls or anything, right? Now, the second point is, in a lot of projects, we see that there is no fall ceiling, such as your basement car parkings. Also, we have been seeing in a lot of office buildings, there is no fall ceiling these days. So in those projects, which we recommend is you simply draw a fall ceiling at whatever the minimum clear height you have decided on. Now, the third and fourth point are regarding the boundary constraints that we have given to BAMROC, and we would want the initial model to follow these. So my MEP systems should be within my floor slab, my fall ceiling, and the external boundary walls, right? So this is very important. Now, the fifth point, is really something we need to ensure that my MEP systems are properly connected. In a lot of projects, we see that engineers simply would draw these elements, these systems, and there would be disconnections in between. Now, for the AI, it becomes difficult to assess which of these systems are multiple systems or a single system. So that is why we are saying the connectivity of the system is very important. You should not simply just align these elements, but connect them properly. Also, fair warning at the bottom. Right now, we have trained it for majority of the projects that are being built around the globe. However, there are still some buildings or let's say projects which have special geometry, such as it could be a museum which has, a cylindrical or circular kind of.
So let me jump in here. So we are not yet ready for a Franco Gehry or a Zaha Hadid building. That's what I would say. It is for largely commercial projects which are mass. BAMROC is yet to get matured to some very complicated geometries. That is still our limitation. Yeah, go ahead, Vimal. Sorry.
Right. So I'll proceed with this. And okay, so this is just a warning for grouping of elements. We'll come back to this later. Now, there are two algorithms that we have built. So the move algorithm, as the naming suggests, simply moves the elements just enough to resolve the clash without creating new ones. So not creating new clashes is very fundamental to BAMROC, and we have built it in such a way. Now, bending is actually a combination of these two. So bending can bend the systems or elements, and it can also make movements to resolve clashes. Bending is currently in beta. Very soon we are going to give it to our end users. Now we'll simply run this move button, and we get to choose the performance mode. Now this, this we created this high setting. So if I move to here, so the medium setting is probably going to resolve majority of the clashes, but we created this high setting so that the AI could think almost 10 steps ahead of the medium and resolve those more complicated cases where you might not have enough space, and it can try multiple combinations and come up with solutions which will probably resolve the remaining clashes once you have run medium. For now, we'll simply run medium and submit it. And now, basically, BAMROC is collecting the mathematical and geometric information from all the models that have been linked. So I have my structure, my architecture, my MEP. So all of the mathematical and geometric data from there will get collected. And finally, we'll be giving it the clash file, which we had exported earlier from Navis. This should be done very soon. Also, one thing to note here is all of these files are currently in my local system, but BAMROC is very much compatible with whatever cloud solution you are using for your models, whether BIM 360 or ACC or anything else.
So just to brief on the architecture of the software, you see the algorithm is sitting on the cloud. So we have the algorithm on the cloud. So there is a Revit plugin and there is a Navis plugin to interact with the algorithm. So what we are doing is that, we are just sending, that data which is related to the clash, to the cloud. It gets processed there. Then we will get the, predictions from the AI, back from the cloud. And it's a continuous, process without any break. Right, it is done. First
Okay.
stage.
Yes. So as I can see here, there are three Revit files. Okay. And now the time comes where I need to upload my Clash file. So I'll do that.
And that's your Navisworks file, right?
Yes. So this is the Clash report that I had exported. Now, as you can see, basically the only information that it contains is the element IDs for the clashing elements. Right? And I have all of the clashes here. So if I move to the bottom, 548 clashes. Okay. So we have about 24,000 elements in this particular project. We have worked with almost 10 times larger projects also. Okay. Now there are about 331 tokens to be deducted. Now this is basically related to the number of clashes BAMROC is going to resolve. Okay. I'll simply process this. So this will probably take some time. So I think we can take some questions as well.
Yes, let's do it immediately. Should we go back to Tony's question? I don't know if that now's the time. Are the
Oh
changes?
yeah, I think we can. So Tony, the changes are implemented. You will see when we show the demo. So you do get predictions as I mentioned, and then you need to click. At the click of a button, they are automatically the Revit files. Are do get revised. So the geometry gets modified. That is how the clashes are being solved primarily, and we are not making any change to the structure. So structure is considered frozen. I would say even gravity pipes, the drainage pipes are considered frozen. Changes are only happening to ducting, cable trays, supply pipes. So any element that is normally moved or bent is being acted upon. And however, important thing is that BAMROC does not, alter the design. So there is no change in design. There is no duct resizing that we are doing right now. It is only and only movement. So we are moving the elements apart. If they are overlapping, and if there is a perpendicular clash, then we are just bending, one of the elements. That is basically what we are doing. And we are also combining the strategy of movement and bending, which is in beta stage right now, where we can, partly move an element and then bend it at the extreme ends. So this is how, the clashes are getting resolved.
And the
Uh,
last question: the design professional notified of the changes?
right. So we will show this in the demo, that we have created our own plugin,
Mm,
which is called CRDR, which is a clash resolution diagnosis report. So we clearly show before after.
okay.
What was the Navis before, and what is it after? You can even navigate into the before after model and see what is the change that had happened. So let me just add here that we are. Thank you, Tony. We are facing this a question coming back again and again that how can I, it's a classic case of undo, redo. So can I undo? So that is, we are, final aim is to make such a good solution. Let AI come up with a solution that is, fully acceptable. However, that is something which is in our agenda to develop, that if we can selectively undo certain resolutions that, human being has to be the boss finally. These are AI co-pilots, they are not to ride over the human will. So that is something that is in development.
Okay.
That we should give the final power to the engineer to be able to. Yeah. Anyway, I think the predictions have come. Over
Right.
to
So
Vimal.
basically, the cloud processing has completed, and now I have got the predictions in my downloads folder. So I'll close this, and 293 tokens deducted. Okay. Now the final thing that we need to do is make the changes in the MEP models. So for local files like the one I'm using right now, we can simply click yes, and it will do the job for me. So basically what is going to happen in the background is it will open these Revit files one by one. It will make the changes, it will save the modified file, and finally reload them back into the host file. This
Okay.
again would take some time.
So to share with you this process that you are seeing happening automatically. Initially, we were doing it manually. So we used to, Vimal and his team used to open each and every file and go on implementing predictions. And they only came up with this idea that we can do this automatically. So now, as you can see on the screen, that it is automatically fetching the each and every Revit file separately, and implementing the relevant prediction in those files.
Okay.
And that is how the
But I do have a question, because I think that most people watching this are either using BIM 360 or Autodesk Construction Cloud, and it said click no if you're using either one of those. So how do we can't do this there, right?
We cannot do the automatic implementation, and now actually this is an intentional decision that we don't want to make the changes to the cloud server, right, where the models are hosted. Since there might be some changes that the user might not want, so we just want to make sure that once the user has validated all the changes that has been done by the AI, they can simply run the same predictions, just that manually they need to implement it. Just run the implement prediction button, and thereafter you can sync it to the cloud.
So you're saying that we can still, so the software will still help us predict what to do with the ducts and how to move them and whatnot, but we need to implement it ourselves and then sync to the cloud. Is that what you're saying?
So not really implement, you need to open these models manually. So the step you are seeing right now, it has
Okay.
basically opened my MEP file, and the only thing that I need to do manually is run that implement prediction button and save the files or sync it to the cloud. Those things I need to do manually. So basically it just adds almost 10-15 minutes more to my
Okay, I understand you. So I don't need to fix them myself. I just need to open the models on my desktop. Okay, I get it. Okay. So for you guys using ACC or BIM 360, they would still run the same thing from their Revit. It just they need to make sure that the models they want to change are open.
right.
Okay,
Absolutely.
got you. But typically, it's only one model that you're going to change anyway. If you only have one MEP, well, I mean, it depends on how the project is split up, I guess. Okay.
Yep, yep. So if you have separate mechanical, electric, plumbing files, then you need to open those files separately. If
Okay.
it is all combined in one, then it is one MEP file that is being opened. And so we to share with you, Stjepan and the audience, we are in the alpha testing stage of our own clash detection software also. So that is something that is in the alpha testing stage right now, and we are, it is even more accurate than Navis, uh, and it works straight on Revit. You don't need to export, uh, and we once that is fully tested and integrated, then it will be one seamless software. So
When can
right
we expect
from
this?
So it will still take us around eight weeks, I would say.
Okay,
Eight
so 2 months,
weeks,
yeah.
yeah. So, but it is showing very good results. You can almost look at a situation where you can start the whole process, leave it, in the evening on your computer, and come back next morning with the clashes automatically detected and resolved.
Mm,
That is the intent finally. However, there is a manual override at each stage if one wants. So
okay.
that is very much on card. Then we are also looking at, as Vimal mentioned initially, this is a very interesting problem. In fact, Vimal, it's still running, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me once you trust, because
Oh, so it is just making the changes.
okay,
And,
yeah. So you see, one challenge that we are facing is that, however hard we advise, but this is an industry problem of the model health that we do find in some of the best engineers' offices also, that the systems are not well connected. The modelers just leave them aligned. Visually, they look fine, but when you analyze it mathematically, they are separate systems. So that is a problem, because AI does not, then AI would consider them like separate systems and would start behaving separately for them. So I think this is another challenge that we are taking up, and probably we may, that is, right now just the R&D has started, that initially, if we can create a tool which can check the model health, and it can detect these model health issues, and automatically then highlight that the system looks like it should be connected but it is not, right? So then at least a senior can these, it's like a alarm being raised for the model health. So
So
finally
wait.
it's bad. Yeah, it's bad even for the BIM model,
So
that
if I
it's
understand you,
not.
is it solving all the clashes or only the, like, I didn't understand the last part. So what is being left for the senior to check? Like all the clashes again, or just some of them, or?
Okay. Oh, there are two aspects to it. You see, I am probably jumping the gun here. So one is when we talk about the role of BAMROC, there we will see that whatever clashes got resolved, there is a choice and there is a tool which can expose the before after to a senior, and they can validate it. However, I am saying a fundamental problem exists in the industry, that the model itself is not accurately made. That is
Mm,
what I was trying to highlight.
okay.
That the model is made in a, which looks like it's a deception, that you feel that the entire systems are visually connected. However, they are not. Physically integrated in the model. So that is a model health issue, and we'll be working on that too. That the model health can be automatically improved of
Yes.
the Revit model.
Thank you, Nathan, for that reflection. Do you want to cover some questions? This is going to take like at least 5 more minutes, right? So do you want to take some questions? We have a bunch from the audience.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
sure.
yeah, so let's go start at the beginning. So AI Plan Lab from Hungary, right? Says if we use add-ins in Revit that come with their own elements, such as Revit families, such as linear or Magic, can the software also perform clash detection and correction with those elements?
Vimal, would you?
Yes, so it should be able to if the categories have been defined correctly. Right now, we have not tested BAMROC with such kind of projects where you have custom families or elements exported from some other software brought back into Revit. But we'll have to see that, but it should work ideally.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Briesh is asking here, hi, is it also possible to follow proposed MEP space section and AI can follow that and resolve clashes? So I'm guessing he means as a special kind of part of the building, I guess.
Okay, there are Brijesh. Hi, pleasure again to connect with you. If you are talking about zoning, if you've already zoned the ducting areas and the electric cable areas, then through some methodology, you can use BAMROC. Finally, it's an AI co-pilot to make sure that your services stay within those zones and the clashes are resolved within that. If your question is to do with a selected section of the large model, then yes, that is also possible through the section box tool, that you can select only one room also of a project and resolve clashes within that room too. So both the options are there.
Okay, thank you. We have another one. I think we have time. It's more a reflection from my good friend Jonathan from Speckle. Hi, Jonathan. So he says that resolving clashes doesn't always mean resolving design. Sometimes a quick reroute can tidy up the symptoms while leaving the underlying cause of bad design choices untouched. That's not a critique of BAMROC so much as a reminder that automation should amplify good design intent, not paper over it. I think something similar you mentioned before, Nitin, right?
So, Jonathan, as an architect and someone who's been involved in this MEP coordination for now more than 30 years, I am 100% in agreement with you. What we can do from our own intelligence uh, is irreplaceable. So BAMROC, I would say, is for 90% of the cases. There would always be those 10% where our own innovation and experience and genius is required, and BAMROC does not at all replace that. It is only to become like your assistant, to help you take care of the I would say, as we used to call in our college days, the dog work. So there is a dog work that needs to be done, and that is what BAMROC does. And you focus on the special work, I would say.
Awesome. I think we should continue with the demo because I see this has been implemented now.
Right. So we have the revised files now. So if I show you the links that are there now you can see there are these before files. So these had clashes, and I'll simply unload these. And then I have these processed ones. So even if I had multiple files, this would be saved as multiple mechanical, electrical, plumbing files. Now what I'm going to simply do is I'm going to make an Navisworks export, and I'll select my categories for which I want. So I'll select my cable trays, my ducts. Let me also include mechanical equipment, then pipe fittings, okay, and sprinklers. Okay. Let me export it.
Okay, so now you open the before model and you're exporting that, right? One with the clashes.
So now I'm exporting the after model. So this is basically
the after
resolved model. Right. So
okay, are you sure? Because it says there before project 25. detached in the file name. Okay, maybe it's just me.
So that is my structure file. No changes have been done in that.
Okay, my bad.
So Vimal is now primarily checking in Nevis. What is the status of the clashes?
So this will probably take a couple of more minutes.
Do you have? Do you always get like a new file, or can you just adjust the existing file, or you made it on purpose that you get a new file?
So this is on purpose only, so that I can retain the data in the original files.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can check everything and so on. So okay, I get it. But is it still connected to the central model, so you can still synchronize it?
You can do that, but I would not suggest that. You have to replace it, I believe.
So you need to delete the old design and paste in the new one.
Right. So that is why I'm saying this. What we suggest is you simply run BAMROC and use the automatic implementation for the local files, that you have downloaded from BIM 360 or ACC. And once you have validated the end results, you simply use the same prediction, implement it directly on the BIM 360 or ACC module. So I load these, after validation, I load these mechanical, electrical, plumbing files from my ACC. I make the changes with the implement prediction button, and then I sync it to the cloud. So that way it works.
So you work locally, meaning that even when you work in ACC, you would download the files, fix them, so to speak, and then upload again. Or
so that is one way. That is what I was saying. That is one way to do it. The other way is you can implement the predictions directly on the ACC only. Just that you have to load the models manually and run the implement prediction button.
Okay. But what happens? Like, the question is more about these models, because like I understand how it works, but like if it creates new models that are like before and after, and then you only have a bunch of tags, a bunch of drawings, a bunch of setup in the old model, does that also gets copied to the new model, or like is it only geometrical changes that get moved?
So I think there's a confusion. Vimal, you are creating a before after of Navis.
Right.
I think so. Stjepan, Revit gets updated. Just revised.
Revit gets updated. So okay, yeah. Thank you for clarifying, because I was all like, okay, so it's only before and after of Nevis that you're creating.
That's
Okay.
right. That's
Right.
Yes.
And that's why he renamed the after Nevis file as TP02, because the initial one was TP01. So it is only the Nevis which is getting revised.
Then
So
my bad.
we are revising the Revit files also, just so that I can save the before models. I think now we can check the final files. So
Okay.
this was the one. Let me open this. Okay, this is the same file. Okay, great. I have everything in here. I can now run it.
So what are you doing now?
So now I have created this basically final Navis file, which basically shows me that my clash count has reduced to 134, down from 548 that was initially, right? So that has happened. Now the next step is to validate these changes one by one, right? So I can do that.
So I think Vimal, you need to take a pause here, because this is now a moment. So you need to highlight. Initially, the model had how many? 548. Okay, so before we ran BAMROC, the Revit, the number of clashes were 548, And now after running BAMROC, the number of clashes has got reduced to 134.
Right.
So that is the level to which the software has worked, and we can very clearly see that on the right side in the image that there are still some clashes, which are unresolved. So that is the reality of life. Software is sometimes able to resolve 80%, sometimes is able to resolve depending upon the complexity of the clashes and the model. And and so
So my
that this
question,
is the first report that comes
I
out.
think we should also highlight there will always be certain clashes that we have tried to avoid resolving them. The approved kinds.
Yes, so that is another aspect to the whole thing, that out of this 134, there are many clashes of the approved category. So approved clashes, the BAMROC does not work on it, and it will just let it be as as such. So that is an analysis that needs to be done later, that out of this 134, are there any genuine hard clashes that are remaining, or it is mostly the approved ones.
okay, I just want to do some quick calculation here. Okay, bear with me. So we have 500 and what was it? 38, 30, yeah, clashes. And now
548 clashes.
48, and now it's 134, which means that 414, if my math is correct, is we solved, or BAMROC solved itself. And if we take that each of those would take manually, to do it manually, let's say 5 minutes. Some of them are like a minute, but some of them are longer because you need to call people, you need to align. So let's say it's 5 minutes each. This is 2070 minutes. In hours, this comes out to 34 and a half hours saved. So you basically saved week of work on this.
Yes. You you are absolutely right. I think your maths is absolutely correct. So that is what we are saying, that we are 11 times faster, in a cumulative manner, and that is where the return on investment is coming from,
Wow.
fundamentally,
Okay.
for the software. Okay, go ahead.
Wow.
Vimal.
I
Right.
think there's a lot of MEP engineers that are very happy. We have a lot of questions that we're going to cover, but yeah, please go on.
Right. So now the next step is to validate these clash resolutions. I want to do that. I want to see how these clashes got resolved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply append my before model, so the TP01. So I have both the before and after models of in the navis for me. And what I'm doing here is creating two clusters. So I'll name this one, let's say TP01. So let me also update this. And I'll run this. And I'll have this TP02. So my after model has TP02.
This is where I got confused, right? So you have before and after of Navis, but Revit is getting updated in real time.
Right.
Yes.
So
Okay, my bad.
great. So now that I have added these clash tests, I can go here and I can click this CRDR BIM button. So this is Clash Resolution Diagnostic Report. And this will create a visual report for me. So it will create images for me from the before model to see how the clash was earlier, and in the after model for how it got resolved. So I have selected a location for the report. So we'll create the report for, let's say, all the clashes, and I'll submit it. This will probably take some time. Now, what is happening in the background is it is clicking pictures of the clashes from the before model and how it got resolved from the after model. So this will probably take a few minutes. So I think we can take a question or two.
Right. So this is now creating that report primarily. So we can take some questions.
Yes, let's take some questions. We have a bunch. We also have some jokes from some people in the comments, which is very nice. Jokes on my. Today I learned Stjepan works a short week when I said 34.5 hours. I can assure you that I don't typically work a short week, but this is a complete different topic. I'm just saying that, it's better to put it in that perspective. But I agree that it's a great tool, as Sakib here says as well. All right, let's go back to some more serious serious questions. Yes, Mahmoud here is saying, thank you for the presentation. For example, when we encounter a clash between a duct, other elements, and the false ceiling, one possible solution is to resize the ducts by increasing the width and reducing the height. In such cases, does the BAMROC AI respect the required aspect ratio of the ducts? Additionally, how does it handle other design verifications for the system, such as friction loss? Okay, very technical.
Okay, so Mahmood, hi. Mahmood, we at this moment we are not resizing the ducts. So that is something we are still considering and reconsidering as a strategy. Though that is, I know as an architect, we do deploy that strategy a lot, and it is a very effective one. Uh, but at the moment, BAMROC is not trained for that. The AI is not trained to resize the ducts. Um and I would say, uh, that is what I keep saying again and again, that the AI right now is trained only to take geometric decisions, very minimalist ones. So it is just moving it enough that the clash is removed, and then on top of it, there is a feature that you can specify the gap, the minimum gap that you want, and it will respect that, but no more than that. So effectively, what you find is that there is hardly any change to the fundamental design, and hence, there are primarily, we see manually more the what we are researching, in comparison, that BAMROC does less changes than what modelers do manually to a clash, a model with a clash. So it is very, very minimal changes that are being done. Intent is not to disturb the design of the engineer, and just do minimal geometric changes. That is
Okay,
how,
what about the
yeah.
second part? What about the other design verifications for the system, such as friction loss?
Right. So, you see, typically, that is what I would say. Friction loss, if the original design is correct and we do not change the original design much, then we need not worry about the friction loss and the and such. I would say design related problems. Especially even with the bending, which is in the beta stage right now. We are trying to avoid multiple bends. So if there is a situation where you have three clashes in a row, we would just partly move the element up and just bend at the extreme ends. So being very well aware of the problems that come related with design changes, right now our intent is not to do any design changes, just do minimum geometry changes.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to continue, or you want to take some more questions? I see you have a report ready, Vimal.
Right, right. So I think let's go over this. So this tool that we have developed, CRDR, this basically created a visual report for me. I can see the before after. I can see there are still some unresolved clashes. Probably it could not find enough space to move the elements. So this would be one of those cases. you can see this particular one is already unresolved. So in these cases, it has failed. But let me show you one of these cases where it has resolved the clash.
So as you could see, this reporting tool itself is very interesting. We've developed it ourselves. You are able to navigate into the Navis model through this tool. Right now, it is showing both the before-after model overlapped on one another. Go ahead, Vimal.
So if I hide my after model, so which is my TP02, I can see there are these some clashes. This cable tray is clashing with the mechanical equipment, I would say. Uh, Now, what has happened to it? If I switch, I can see this clash is now resolved. Now the cable tray has been moved to the left side. Now just enough to resolve the clash, not enough that it can make a design change or routing change, nothing like that. Right? It simply has resolved the clash for me.
And does
Both
it
the pipe and the cable tray came out of the mechanical box.
okay? And does it respect any like minimal distances you want to put in, or like is it goes
You
to 0
can,
millimeters?
So, Stjepan, very interesting question. We have created a feature within BAMROC that the modeler can specify the minimum distance. So you can go to the extent that you can specify between a cable tray and a pipe, or between a duct and a cable tray, and vertically and horizontally separately. So the cable tray requires some attendance for maintenance. So that is where we felt that we should leave the choice to the BIM coordinator and the MEP coordinator.
But there is a possibility for that.
Oh, it total flexibility. You can
Yes.
specify 13.5 also.
right.
Yeah, but of course, the bigger you specify, the probably the fewer clashes will get resolved, right?
Yes, yes,
That is
absolutely.
absolutely.
That is a limitation.
So we'll show you that how that works too. Also, we can see there are some more clashes that were present there in my before model, right? And if we switch back again, I can see those are resolved too. So it has basically taken note of all the clashes that are present, and it is trying to provide a holistic solution to all of these clashes. Right? And
So that is, yeah, you carry on, Vimal. I think that is the other, I would say, one difference between the way, I would work when working purely without BAMROC, and the way BAMROC works. I would go from one zone to another. However, BAMROC is able to take decisions for the entire model because it has simulated it mathematically. The AI has simulated it in its own mind, and it is able to consider from one corner to another. So that is a bit of a difference. I think that is somewhere we do feel that uh, a very holistic approach is being followed.
Yes. Go on. We have more questions, but we can always take them. So you want to show something else after this report and all of these comparisons?
so basically, this report is almost done, and I can see uh, there were clashes earlier, and it's resolved now. So all of these cable trays were clashing earlier. All of these are resolved now. Right. There
So
are
similarly, I think, Vimal, we can keep going over these.
right.
I think primarily it will be similar examples, and during the whole beauty of now this reporting is that this is where one is able to now judge whether if any unresolved clash was an approved clash, and you can keep on marking that in the approved clash category, and finally come up with whatever genuine number of hard clashes remain, and then also to share with you, you can rerun it. It is very much possible, even if let us say 100 clashes are left, the whole BAMROC movement can be rerun on it, and it will resolve more clashes, because for the AI also the situation has become easier now, right? So we do find that multiple times that we run it, it keeps resolving more clashes. And also, if you remember, Vimal showed you a feature of a medium or a high. So on the high command, it runs at 10 times the capacity. So once you are left with fewer clashes, you can run it on a high power mode, and then the AI is in a in a more intensive loop primarily. Thinking rather 6 into 6, 36 times, right? So it consumes more cloud space also at that time, but it is able to resolve more complicated clashes.
Right.
Okay. Vimal, you want to go ahead with something?
Right. So basically, once I have validated these clashes, I can simply close this, and it will create a final report on my system. So if I
So we are almost done, Stjepan. I think this was, once you've created the CRDR report, that is almost, your assignment is over. Now I would say that it is more for the MEP coordinator now to go ahead and validate these clashes. Uh, I think there are some things that we should admit and highlight here are that during this process, sometimes there are errors. Software, there is no software in the world which does not have errors. We do see errors coming in. Sometimes there are deletions when the movements happen. So we've created a tool. I think, Vimal, you would like to show that.
right, we can do that. So basically, these errors we can check. All I need to do is open my this processed file. So I'll simply unload it and let me open it. So it's actually here. So maybe this is the one. So what I'm doing is I'm opening my revised Revit file and I'm going to navigate these clashes. So while the changes were being made, there was a error log that was being created, and now I will be navigating them using this navigate error log. So a lot of these errors will be automatically resolved. We'll also see that.
So yes, we have created within the software a process of automatically correcting these errors also, which you are seeing on the screen. This is now an error log. The red ones are the ones which have not got automatically corrected. However, the green ones are the ones which have got automatically corrected. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
I would like to highlight here that some of these red ones are disconnections that BAMROC thought might not be required. So they are still logged, but since you can see in this particular one, it's not really an error. This is okay, but we are logging this so that the user can confirm it.
So idea is that the MEP coordinator, the BIM manager should not get any surprises. Because we do understand that it is, everything is happening so fast that there would always be a doubt and a suspicion as to whether something went wrong. So I think it is better to transparently show that wherever there is a possibility that something you have a look at it.
Right. So this particular case, we can see there was a disconnection that happened between these blue highlighted duct elements, and then it got automatically corrected using this middle duct fittings and duct getting created. Right. So it is highlighted as green here. So similarly, there are these few errors that have happened. I think for a professional BIM specialist, it won't take much long to correct these. And,
Yeah, these errors do need to be fully corrected before you rerun. So if you want to run again, then you need to go to these errors, just make sure that they are all green and to your satisfaction, and then rerun.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, your software fixed 414 issues. Of course, mistakes happen, as you said, so it's maybe important to go through, just quickly go through, analyze, see. But most of them are, let's say, fixed. But then there were 18 errors that the software that BAMROC also generated. And this report gets generated automatically as well, right?
Right.
Yes. So you're saying that before running again, the user, the BIM specialist, BIM coordinator, whoever it is, needs to open this and fix these errors before running again.
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay. Got you. Yes. Okay, cool. Is this it? I mean, this is a lot.
Yes,
this is
this
amazing.
is it. This is it as far as the software demo is concerned.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Vimal, for showing this. Thank you, guys. I know it's late at night. I want to take some questions now. We have a bunch of questions from the audience, and I want to start with Zoltan's question about data security. Are the uploaded plans, models stored or used for training purposes? Do you have any data security certifications that would allow us to use the software on projects where confidentiality is required?
Yeah, so data security and is fundamental to BAMROC. I mean, first thing is no project data, no client data is stored on AI processing servers. It is just this BAMROC just collects the geometric data and sends it to the cloud server for AI processing. And we are not using project data, the client data, for training the AI model. So data security is fundamental to BAMROC. And when it comes to transmission of data to the AI processing server, so secured protocols are being taken.
Okay.
And on top of it, we have applied security patches in our code base, but yes, we are geared up to obtain compliances and certifications like vulnerability tests and certifications like which are specific to data security, like ISO 27001, SOC 2, and GDPR, which are geography specific certifications when we reach out to customers in these geographies.
Okay. Zoltan is already saying thank you for the answer. Thank you for the question, Zoltan. Yes. We have some questions that were happening throughout the live demo, so I think some of them were covered. Mikulić, who we had here a couple of weeks ago with his own tool, Raven for Grasshopper, does BAMROC edit ducts exclusively right now? How do you intend to expand its functionality?
So, Moritz, we are not changing the cross section of the ducts. Either the duct is moving, sideways or.
I think that's what he meant. I think he meant, is it only for ducts, but is it also, you said, cable trays and so on? So more categories.
So all the categories, whatever clashes you want to run,
Besides structure, you said.
Besides, structure is frozen. Gravity pipes are frozen.
Okay, yeah. So piping, electrical, ventilation, all of those. Yeah.
Yes.
Heating, cooling.
Okay.
Yes.
One very interesting thing. There is also a choice of by using a pin command that you can decide to freeze any of the category.
Okay.
So that choice you have. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Cool. Moritz, I hope that answers your question. Yes. Ranjit is asking, how does it have the ability to categorize the clashes based on any predefined set of guidelines between critical, hard clashes, soft clashes, and so on?
Right. So basically, soft clashes and conflicts. So we had a few frequently asked questions slide as well. So soft clashes is one of them. Soft clashes are basically regarding the maintenance gaps that you provide between elements or systems. And now for that, we have a feature where you can define what kind of separation you want. And once you increase that separation, you get the get these soft clashes resolved as well. So that feature is there. Let me also show you that. So if I go here, this clearance configuration is there, and I can configure what kind of maintenance gap I want to give for my ducts, for my pipes, for my cable trays, for my mechanical equipment. So I might want to give different kind of gaps for different kind of systems. So that is possible. And similarly for the bend angles also, we have that for the bending algorithm.
I think I can speak for everybody here and say that you thought about a lot of stuff. I think you have an amazing tool here. Okay, let's continue with the questions. We have 10 minutes more. Again, Briesh is asking, is it possible to see resolved clashes in a clash report rather than to see an open one by one? But yes, we saw the report already, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes. Okay. Mohit is asking here, will moving and adding extra bends to the duct change the efficiency of the system? How will BAMROC handle that?
So Mohit, as far as the movement is concerned, it is absolutely the minimum, as we explained, just with the minimum gap that you are going to specify. So there is hardly any change in the overall, geometry, I would say.
Yeah.
So efficiency does not get hampered.
Hmm.
When it comes to bends, we are testing it. Idea is to give minimum bends. So we don't, if there is a duct which is clashing with supply pipes at multiple locations, we will not keep hopping it, over it again and again. Instead, the algorithm would be able to take one combined decision that just lift the part of the duct and bend it at two ends. So, so with such strategies, one is able to, do very minimal changes to the model.
Okay, amazing. And Mahmoud is asking, what happens if some of the models are in IFC format? For example, when the architectural structure models are created in software other than Revit.
So for now, we have not really, made it compatible with the IFC. But that is one of the things we are going to do in the future. So we will make it compatible for IFC and other softwares if there is a large interest on that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I have a few questions of my own, and we answered the client data. I want to answer your financial runway. Like, you're a startup, but you've been a startup for, what is it, a year now, maybe a bit more. Do you have funding? Do you have like revenue already with clients? Like, why? Because I know it's maybe risky for somebody to work with you if you're just very new to the business. So can you maybe share some thoughts on that?
So, Stjepan, till now, the entire venture has been bootstrapped by me. And I do have commitment for 117K US dollars, which I have still not taken. I'm happy to put my own funds right now. So overall, last we calculated, we still have a good runway of 18 months. We can continue, and the fundamental, beauty of our situation is that the software is, absolutely unique. We do not have any competition till now, and we are happy to go on improving it. That is our focus right now, to just go on improving it. We are getting very good response from the industry, and there are right now, pilot runs, I would say, not the paid ones. We are yet to enter into the paid pilot stage, but lot of large enterprise customers have already, raised a business case within their organization, and hopefully, I think another couple of months when we will start earning revenue also. Presently, we are running pilots with some very large enterprise customers.
Okay, but is that the stage you're at? So can somebody just go on your website and buy this, or do I need to reach out and we need to schedule a demo and install the software? Which phase are you at right now?
So we prefer that the customer connects with us. It is initially, I would say we prefer that customer can install the software. That's not a problem. They can download the installer and install the software. It comes with a minimum, 100 tokens. So you can solve small projects with, less than 100 clashes. However, as you saw, there are many steps involved in the using the software. We are very happy to give a demo, and we are very happy to handhold the customer, in the initial run.
Okay, fair enough. You said no competitors right now.
Yes, so we are, I would say, in a good position from that point of view. There is, zero competition. And as I mentioned, me and my wife, we have a international patent for the software. It is, published, and we do have some namesake competitions. We've around 15 months back, we tried to test them and rejected them. So there is a tool on the Revit marketplace. There is a, Mod Plus also exists. The one on the Revit marketplace does not work. The company does not respond, and the other one is more like a auto drafting tool. So you go to each clash specifically and you specify the, for example, the bend angle, and then it will just do a bend there. That is what it does. It is not offering you any automatic resolution. So yes, we, as of now, we do not have any competition.
Okay, amazing. Thank you for the honesty on that. I have two more questions, and then we have one question from the audience left. So let's take first. What does your roadmap look like? What's next for you guys?
Sure. So Stjepan, as I explained in the beginning, our vision, the mission or the vision, is to create AI co-pilots which can audit design of a building engineer and offer optimization. So that is the mission. BAMROC, I would say, is a problem that we identified and we are trying to solve. We have been reasonably successful there. However, in future, the roadmap is that Anuj, our chief operating officer, who is also a champion software engineer himself, he has taken the ownership of the next product, which is going to be an AI co-pilot for the structural designer. So we intend to, create a group of tools which can be applied to the various components of the structure of the building. So let's say a separate tool for foundation, separate tool for columns, separate tools for the beam design, but with the intent to audit in terms of the consumption of the material, audit the design, and then, to be able to optimize it. That is the basic intent. So we have already started work on the co-pilot for the structural design. Then we will be shifting, in times to come, on the co-pilot for the air conditioning design, and finally, for the facade design. So idea is to stay focused on the logic-based engineering design only. As of now, though I'm an architect and a designer, but I'm not venturing into the aesthetic side. On the subjective side, my belief is that, this is where a lot of wastage is happening in the industry. And, if we are able to save here, there is a very good return on investment, as well as, it'll help largely in terms of our sustainability goals also.
Yes, thank you so much for explaining that. We're going to come back to one more question for you guys from my side, but we have one from audience I just want to cover quickly. After making a change at a particular clash, example, a cable tray passing to a duct, after making clash free, what would happen to the entire run? Are there chances that it would clash at another location with other services? If so, what's the solution?
Okay, Ram. So this is something absolutely fundamental to BAMROC, that it will not suggest any change that will end up creating a new clash at any other location. So that is a very, very fundamental training, you could say, given to the AI, that no new clashes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for being so clear on that, and I'm pretty sure Aram is happy to hear that as well. Last question for you guys. What are you? I mean, this has been amazing. Just maybe before the last question, just a bit of a reflection. So, we first met, like you guys, all three of you, and myself. I think it was last year. I think we spoke, or no, or earlier this year. It was either December or January. I can't remember. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
it was, I think, January probably.
Yes. So it was January this year, and we just had a call. And I remember seeing you. You kind of demoed the software for me, but I remember there being so many steps, a lot more than what we saw here. There were like so many steps, like of like click here, click there, import here, export here, and I can see such a big difference. Everything is a lot more smooth. Everything is a lot more automatic, and a lot nicer UI, so to speak. So like you can trust this. So I really want to commend you guys for that. Like I've seen it, I can see that you did a lot of work and you keep doing a lot of work. And I think that everybody who saw this demo can agree with me that's to say this is amazing. Like of course there are nuances. Of course it can't solve 100%, but this is not how AI works. AI is not supposed to solve 100%. But even this 70-80% is a big deal. Yes. Okay, well let's join in this one in last minute. After last, does it also handle pipes with thermal insulation?
Vimal, would you?
So we are right now not considering insulations, since insulation clashes are more so categorized as soft clashes.
Mm.
But we are giving an option where you can define the maintenance gap, and that maintenance gap should include your insulation thickness, right? So uh, using that, those insulation clashes will get resolved.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much. And the last question then from my end is like, what are you the proudest of in your journey? Like, I mean, Nitin, you shared a lot. Like, I really commend you as well. Like, it's not like a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, but like a lot of people your age would just go and relax, and not invest in a new venture. I mean, I see it happening all around. So I really think it's an amazing thing. You started this and you really want to solve this. So I think that speaks a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, so I think Vimal, uh, Stjepan, this is something that I would say we are, most proud of. That is our entire team. That
Mm.
is what, is the real, I would say, force behind our success today, wherever we are. And, so if I am able to, uh, you know, I would have been happy. There are two engineers who are sitting, right behind us, who are not being seen in the call, and they are there just for our support. And in case Vimal's laptop would have crashed, they would have been there, as a backup. So Harsh and Dipanshu are there. You can say hi. Maybe we can hear you.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, hi guys!
Yeah.
Wow, we have more people. Amazing.
Yeah, so that's what our strength and pride is. That it's me, Anuj. Anuj is my younger cousin,
Ah,
and and so it's Anjana, my wife, and then Deepak is there. Deepak is probably on the call also. He's in Dallas, so he's our guru as far as the entrepreneurship world is concerned. And then Vimal, Harsh, and then Sagar is our marketing wizard. He's the one who is making all the strategies and for the campaigns on the social media to reach out. And Ojasvi is Ojasvi and Harsh have been the coders and the AI engineers. Then Tanmay is our tech advisor on the AI, and Divyansh has recently joined in the team, and he's taken over the entire system bending, which is going to be the most advanced tool of BAMROC. And then Ayush is assisting Sagar. So this is the team, a small team, very early stage startup. I think that is what we are very, very proud of.
amazing. I mean, listen, it's a small startup, but 12 people, bootstrapped. Amazing. I commend you, man. This is wow. I'm like bootstrap on my new Neo stack, and we have like 7 people, and it's like it's hard. I know how hard it is,
Yeah.
So okay, guys, you want to add some last comments, something, some last thoughts on all of this? Like, no, nothing. I think you then said it all, right? So listen, guys, I think that yeah, I want to share something for your end. So I guess if people want to learn more, they go to Vavetek.AI/BAMROC. I think it also opens automatically after you put in Vavetek.AI. And yeah, for any questions we might not have answered, or people want to still, I guess it's contact you, right?
Right.
Yes, and then you're gonna get in touch with them. But otherwise, that's how they can get started. And I see that you have like a lot of other plans here, but this is upcoming, right? This is not yet
Yes,
here.
this is upcoming.
Mhm.
So as we mentioned in our R&D, right now it's the AI Copilot for the structure designer, and then making the BAMROC, as a platform
Mm.
for the clash management, and so starting right from improving the model health with respect to the MEP clashes, and taking it right up to the point of the clash resolution diagnosis report. End to end, we are working on the entire platform.
Yeah. All right, listen, guys. I know it's past 11. Thank you so much for joining. We have people saying you guys are doing a great job. We
Thank
have
you.
people saying that it's a great demo. Thank you for answering. Yeah, great tool. So you see, there's very grateful people around. So that's awesome to see. Thank you so much for doing this with me. Thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I wish you all the best. And maybe we can do another demo in a year and see where you guys got.
Right, right. Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, Stjepan. I think it was a pleasure, honor, pleasure to be here with you and give this live demo. I think we are kicking, and, absolutely, it doesn't feel like we are going to be touching midnight almost here.
Yeah, I wish all the best for you guys. I think you got something. I think this is a really good tool, especially for this part. It's typically considered. Don't get me wrong, but it's typically considered a boring part. Like all the clashes you need to check it all, especially for ventilation. Electric. It's not the fun part. It's not the design. It's nothing you see, but it's something that makes the building live and breathe, so to speak.
True.
So thank you for covering that. I think this is amazing. I think you're gonna get a lot of contacts. I hope you do. And yeah, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Goodbye.
To everyone in the audience, thanks again for joining. I hope this has been insightful. As you know, this is all not paid. Nobody's being paid here. I hope you enjoy this free content. And of course, if you want to get more AI skills or build a comprehensive strategy, I just want to tell you about these two workshops. We have one on September 9th and September 10th. I'm not going to go into details. Everything's on my website, ainac.com. And yeah, this has been fun. We have a lot more AI demo days coming. We are starting already next week. We have two. First one is on 2nd of September at the same time, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And the second one is on Thursday, 4th of September. So the first one is going to be ChatGPT for Revit. And you can see all of that if you go under AI demo days. They will be populated here as time goes on. So you can just scroll down and you can already sign up for the one on September 2nd. We'll be making a LinkedIn event, a YouTube event, and so on. So I hope you like what we do here. And yeah, thank you so much for all of your attentions. And yeah, have a nice evening, day, wherever you might be. So yeah, with that said, bye guys. God bless you all.